it. Let's get started with our sports betting news of the day. Unfortunately, involves a collegiate athlete that seems to be potentially breaking the rules. A former Temple men's basketball player has placed dozens of bets on Owls basketball games over 2 seasons, including wagering against his own team. The NCAA announced over the weekend. His name is Hysier Miller, and he was deemed permanently ineligible by the NCAA after they found that he placed 42 bets. And it was like a lot of parlays, too. Only $473 this kid risked it all for. My gosh, he started every game for Temple over a couple of seasons, and they found his sportsbook accounts. And certainly, oh my gosh, these kids will never learn. $473 risking his future in the NCAA and, of course, professionally as well. The NCAA also announced over the weekend they have reversed course, smartly enough, on a rule change that would have allowed student athletes to bet on professional sports, obviously not involving their own games, but that's out. 2/3 of Division I member schools voted to rescind a previously approved rule change to allow student athletes, coaches, and staff to bet on professional sports. The ban will form all betting and remain in place for all 3 NCAA divisions. Smart, if you ask me. Okay, the lone game of the weekend that wasn't really good was Sunday Night Football. Ironically, over before it started. Boy, the Rams, don't they look like the best team in the NFL right now? They sure do. 34-7, the final. Another game from the MVP candidate and the favorite right now on FanDuel, Matthew Stafford. 34-7, the final. Rams got a lot of touchdowns in this one. Speaking of which, Devontae Adams ended up catching a couple in this game as Stafford was able to find all of his different weapons, including Cody Parkinson. Also in this game, it should be noted that Baker Mayfield did not finish the game. That would have been Teddy Bridgewater because Mayfield fell awkwardly on his left shoulder. That's the non-throwing shoulder. He went in the blue tent, ended up coming back in, and then couldn't finish the game. So no word on Baker coming up this weekend. Here is Sean McVay on how well the team played and actually singling out some special teams performances.
Overall, really pleased. It was awesome to see our field goal operation. Mevis hitting a couple big field goals. I think that's going to serve us really well. And, it was a good, complete team win. Some things that we can clean up just based on kind of how we were playing it, specifically offensively in the second half. But wanted to be able to be smart, kind of keep the clock running. And so love this team. A lot of respect for Coach Bowles and that group. And, we'll move on and start getting ready for the Panthers.
I saw a lot of guys get better. I saw some things we can do better. It's not everybody. It happens to be a guy here and a guy there, and it ends up being the same thing. Obviously, the big plays on defense, the 3 or 4 plays, the pick 6 when the ball bounces off and gets that and taking that. Once you get off to a slow start that way against a team like that, they're great within their own route, right, obviously. So hard to play catch up in that aspect.
What an impressive fourth quarter comeback it was for the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday, with their season seemingly hanging in the balance. Patrick Mahomes and company capture a 23-20 win in overtime. The Chiefs clearly did not cover the spread. The game also went under the total. Patrick Mahomes, after the game, talking about the comeback and just how resilient the team was to get that win against the Colts.
And the game's not going your way. You could have folded in that situation and kind of been kind of the rest of the season. But the guys responded and then found a way to win on every single unit. I mean, offense, we found a way at the end. Defense stood tall multiple times to give us chances. And then Harrison and Ariza did a great job flipping the field and making field goals. So we needed a win like this, and now let's just try to build off of it. I think guys it's kind of an urgency thing. I mean, obviously you want to be urgent, but it was do or die type thing where you had to make something happen, and guys made plays happen throughout the entire team. It wasn't one person; it was everybody. Everybody made plays in the biggest moments, and we found a way to win.
Don't look now, but the Dallas Cowboys are back in the playoff hunt ahead of their Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. They came all the way back down 21 to beat the Eagles, 24-21 the final. The Eagles looked like they had this one all wrapped up, but they just kept fumbling, punts and runs and everything else. Dak Prescott giving credit not to the offense, but for the defense for keeping them in the game.
Defense. I can't give them enough credit. We wouldn't have won this game without the opportunities that they gave us over and over again. It was also moments of just, when they get a stop or something happened, whether it was Quentin or Donovan, one of those guys telling me, we got you. And then when they did stop, I'm telling them, we told you. Just continuation of what we did last week and just sticking together. And like I said, it's about the brotherhood. And trust me, once again, we're always going to do it and do it for Marshawn. And he was felt tonight, and I'm sure he was playing right there alongside with us.
Another incredible game played yesterday between the Bears and the Steelers. This one was back and forth throughout. The Bears end up picking up the win, 31-28. Caleb Williams had a strong game, throwing a couple of touchdown passes to DJ Moore. And it wasn't easy for the New England Patriots against the Cincinnati Bengals, but they do win 26-20. That's now 9 straight wins for New England. They are the favorites to not just win the AFC East, but also be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Baltimore Ravens keep their season alive by beating the Jets in somewhat of a slog, 23-20 the final. Derrick Henry rushed for a couple of touchdowns. How about Emmanuel Wilson filling in for Josh Jacobs, who did play on Sunday? Packers were 6.5-point favorites. They end up winning this one over the Vikings 23-6. Impressive win for them there. Matt LaFleur talked about just the fill-ins and how successful they were.
All 3 phases contributed to that win. It's never easy going against a division rival and a team that has beat us twice in a row at Lambeau. So that felt really good, and told them you can enjoy it for a couple hours, but really today's Wednesday in our world, so that it's a quick turnaround. So guys got to try to get their bodies back. We'll get together as a team tomorrow, and we're off and on to Detroit. It was kind of a weird game where our defense really had control of the football game. I've never called the same run so many times consecutively. It was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but it was effective. And bottom line was, I just thought with the way our defense was playing, we just took the air out of the ball and said, go win it for us.
The Detroit Lions needed every point possible in their 34-27 win in overtime. Boy, the Giants gave them all they could handle, especially Jameis Winston, who threw 2 touchdowns and caught a touchdown pass. After the game, Giants have seen enough of their defense. They fired their coordinator, Shane Bowen. Jacksonville also stayed alive in a wild game, 27-24. They win in Arizona. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks, a game that they thought they would blow out the Tennessee Titans, was actually pretty close. They were 12.5-point favorites. They win 30-24. Sam Darnold throwing 2 touchdown passes to Jackson Smith in Jigba. And Shedeur Sanders picked up his first ever win as a starting quarterback. It does count despite being against the Raiders. 24-10 the final. Raiders are just playing like the worst team in the NFL, and they fired Chip Kelly after the game. He was their offensive coordinator. Also, the Saints keep losing. Falcons 24-10. They pick up the win behind Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Hey, there was a Major League Baseball trade yesterday. Not a lot of signings, but the hot stove at least off to a trading start. The Rangers have acquired Brandon Nimmo from the New York Mets for infielder Marcus Semien. Tyler Hero will be back for the Heat tonight as they take on the Mavericks. FSU announced that Mike Norvell will be back next year. Unfortunately for Justin Wilcox, he will not. He was fired by Cal yesterday. 48-55 record overall. They'll also be looking for a new head coach, just like so many other teams right now in college football.